In the opening scene, we see Bonnie Parker, an extraordinary personal gift shopper bubbling in the spirit of Christmas, as she goes shopping for her clients. She customizes her picks for the perfect item for each client. One can see that she was made for this venture. She gets to the office and Corinne, her friend and worker, informs her of a new client, Patrick Armstrong, the owner of a construction site. His assistant sent a list, and she should be expecting more when she meets Patrick in person the next day. Bonnie gets excited, especially after hearing that her new client might be loaded, based on his address. The next morning, Bonnie arrives at the address but is shocked to see a construction site. She approaches a young man, Bernard, who she sees sitting at a desk. Bernard figures out she is the shopper he suggested to his uncle, who is also his boss. He further reveals to her that he saw her trending on the internet, so he convinced his uncle to hire her to get Christmas gifts for his daughter and loyal clients. He then directs her upstairs to meet his uncle. Upon getting upstairs, Bonnie tries calling Patrick, who is carried away, and singing along to the Christmas jingle blasting through his headphones. He gets startled when she taps him to get his attention. Bonnie introduces herself by seeing the puzzling look on his face as he wonders who she is. Patrick quickly grabs a seat for her, realizing his assistant booked her before Christmas instead of after. Bonnie sits and pulls out her writing materials, preparing to take notes of his orders. Patrick requests just something nice for his existing and potential clients. Some new boots for his employees, a gift for his daughter's music teacher, as well as something he can wear to the holiday party he will be hosting with his clients and employees. Bonnie's excitement keeps fluctuating whenever she suggests what will suit him, and he refuses her suggestion. She finally stands up to get his measurement, but he won't even let her, insisting she get it from Marco, who owns Caldwell downtown. His reasons are that Marco knows his style very well, plus she can use the measurements Marco has on file from his wedding. Just then, a client's call comes in, disrupting the conversation. At home, Bonnie sits discussing with her sister Samantha, who is a lawyer. She informs Samantha of her new client, who has a personality different from the regular because he despises social media and is a bit closed off. However, she thinks there's just something about him, plus she needs to work. Samantha advises her to take some time off buying what she doesn't need. Soon after, the sisters sit watching an ornament with their family picture in it, reminiscing on the times they spent with both their parents. Later at night, Bonnie looks through the music teacher's social handle, hoping to find a perfect gift. She soon comes up with a fantastic gift for her as she adds a ticket to a music concert to her cart. The next day at the school, Patrick's daughter, Phoebe's, they argue about replacing their fake Christmas tree because Phoebe wants a real one. The music teacher, Miss Fiona Appleby, calls out to them as she approaches them. She appreciates the ticket Patrick got for her, and she confesses it's the best gift she has ever received. Patrick looks surprised because he knows he didn't get her that, but he understands what she is talking about. He informs Phoebe of her remaining activities for the day and when he will see her. Phoebe walks into her class disappointed she won't be having her tree. At Marco's shop, Bonnie selects a sports jacket for Patrick, ignoring Marco's suggestions of Patrick's taste in clothes. She arrives at the construction site, and upon meeting Patrick, she informs him she has delivered his presents to his clients and she just dropped the boots for them. So she is left with his holiday party outfit, and Bonnie urges him to try it out for a change. Seeing that it doesn't suit him, she blames it on him for refusing her to take his measurements. Patrick reveals she should have gotten a plant instead of a ticket for the music teacher. The workers' voices bring his attention to their boots, and he queries why she bought shiny shoes instead of work boots. He expresses his dislike for the fact that she didn't just go with his directives. However, Bonnie insists the reason she gets hired is for her unique touch. Not pleased by his response, she compliments the sports jacket color she got for him and walks away. After she leaves, Bernard appreciates the color of his sporty jacket. At the office, Bonnie narrates everything that ensued between her and Patrick and would appreciate it if Corinne could help her with anything that would assist her not to become a failure as Patrick's gift shopper. Corinne reveals to her the situation with Patrick. He lost his dear wife, has no serious support from family members, and has trying times he has had to deal with while being a provider to his little daughter. Bonnie now understands why he is that way. She feels a sense of pity mixed with responsibility because she now sees how to best satisfy this unique client of hers. At Patrick's house, Phoebe tells her father about her evening with Bernard. She is so excited thanks to all the fun activities he allowed her to participate in. She suddenly remembers the tree and she tries convincing her father to get a real Christmas tree. Phoebe reminds him how fun Christmas used to be with her mom. Patrick succumbs to her wishes, seeing that the little girl might have a point. A call from Miss Appleby comes in and Patrick excuses himself to take it. Miss Appleby tries to make Patrick see how much she has in common with his daughter, but he is engrossed in trying outfits for the party he is hosting. Miss Appleby calls his attention and reveals the reason she called is to appreciate him for the present he gave her, and she would like to take him to the Christmas market. Patrick finds the conversation rather awkward. However, he obliged her, but it would be some other time because he will be busy the next day. The next day at Bonnie's home, she calls the address of Patrick's construction site over the phone for a delivery to be made to him. Samantha, who is set to attend court looking pretty, requests Bonnie's opinion on her outfit. She informs Bonnie of her friend, who is looking for some gift-giving advice. Bonnie gets excited to hear he could be a potential client. She quickly accepts to have dinner with her friend. At Armstrong Construction, Bernard and Patrick walk down the staircase discussing having a karaoke at the holiday party. Patrick isn't interested in having karaoke at the Christmas party despite how much he and his late wife Natalie used to love it. Bernard sees there is no way to convince him, so he informs him of the mail he received from Bonnie in the morning. Bonnie calls him from where she is shopping, asking about the shade of dark blue he prefers. Patrick doesn't seem to understand why she doesn't just pick any dark blue. Patrick ends the conversation as Harry Duffus, a client, walks in. Harry thanks him for the lovely Christmas basket, and he is willing to take back the grief he has been giving Patrick about his plans and budget. Harry admits he wants to return the goodwill Patrick showed him by putting a bid on his waterfront development deal. He would like to look around for something he can get, so Patrick starts showing him around. Later on, Bonnie sees Phoebe in front of a cafe. Phoebe can already tell who she is because her dad told her about the gift shopper, and her bags say a lot about who she is. Phoebe invites Bonnie to their house for a hot chocolate while waiting to give her father the other things she got for him. They get into the cafe and Phoebe reveals she would love a ticket to Taylor Swift's event, but her dad has been refusing her, saying it's too expensive. Bonnie informs her she could speak with a client who is friends with Taylor's makeup artist to get them a ticket and some discounts. Phoebe is awed at the sound of that, even though she doesn't think her dad would agree with Bonnie. Bonnie finds it strange that a child as young as Phoebe uses social media. However, she urges Phoebe not to take what she sees on her page seriously because she lives a normal life like everyone else. Her page only looks that way to attract clients. They talk about her mom's passing 3 years ago. Bonnie tries to make Phoebe understand they share a mutual loss, so she understands Phoebe perfectly. Bonnie changes the direction of the conversation as the atmosphere gets gloomier. She informs Phoebe that not only will she help score some tickets so Phoebe can officially become a Swiftie, but she's always willing to listen whenever Phoebe needs someone to talk to, and no one seems to understand. Patrick walks into the cafe joining the ladies. Seeing that they've already met, Bonnie hands him the drip. He doesn't like the suit, but like she says, a hoodie isn't appropriate for a holiday party. He wonders how she got to know the exact present to get for Harry, admitting she truly does her research about her clients. Phoebe invites Bonnie to come pick out a Christmas tree with them. Bonnie accepts the invitation, but she has to leave so she can go prepare for her dinner date with a potential client and her sister. Patrick compliments how great she has been doing with the gifting for his clients. He has finally accepted their stance on the Christmas tree, because his daughter and Bonnie seem to share the same ideas about a real Christmas tree. Bonnie enters the house and the delicious aroma from Samantha's meal welcomes her in. Samantha rushes out, informing her that her attention is needed at the law firm, so she has to leave immediately. However, Ryan, her friend, is at the table taking some wine. She doesn't fail to mention how successful, handsome, and interesting he is. Bonnie now understands what Samantha is playing at simply because she refused online dating. However, she refuses to assume. Bonnie gasps as Samantha admits to setting her up and running out of the house. She walks inside to meet Ryan. As soon as she introduces herself and sits, Ryan floods her with information about his divorce 3 months back. She excuses herself to grab some food, hoping he will stop speaking. Instead, he moves to admire her dress, curly hair, and necklace, and then back to the divorce subject. Bonnie serves him his meal and changes the topic to his personal shopping needs. Ryan starts the new topic, revealing how his ex-wife Barb is so good at shopping. Bonnie sighs, allowing him to just go on talking. The next day at the shop, Bonnie informs Samantha that with the last item she's waiting for, she will be done shopping for one of her clients, whose name is Ms. Jenkins. Samantha apologizes for setting her up with Ryan, admitting the pairing wasn't right. Bonnie blames her, also revealing Ryan is yet to get over his ex-wife, as she was the main subject of the dinner date the previous night. She advises Samantha to stick to lawyering, as matchmaking is not her forte. The sisters walk down the street chatting as they head home. Bonnie informs Samantha she will be coming home late because she has to join a client and his daughter in shopping for a Christmas tree. Samantha asks to know more about this client of hers. Bonnie reveals Patrick's profession, his wife's demise, and the circumstances that led to her joining them to pick a tree. Samantha gets excited at the fact that he is single and handsome. Plus, he has a daughter Bonnie has already bonded with. She giggles in excitement as she can already see another opportunity for her self-proclaimed bachelorette sister. Later in the evening, Bonnie joins Patrick and his daughter in their search for a Christmas tree. Phoebe goes in another direction while she checks elsewhere for her tree. Patrick and Bonnie start talking, and he appreciates her taking her time to come join them. Bonnie shares some of her fondest memories of her one big happy family whenever they go shopping for a Christmas tree and other things. She feels like her joining Patrick and his daughter is an opportunity to relive those memories. Patrick reveals his single mom loves baking baking butter shortbread cookies. He recounts how he and his little brother used to assist her while she baked. Phoebe interrupts their discussion about their family traditions. She found a tree and would like them to come and check it out. They pick the tree and head over to make payment. Later, Phoebe sees a Christmas skate date flyer. She suggests they try it out, but Bonnie confesses she would love to if she knows how to skate. Phoebe asks her dad to teach Bonnie, who declines, as she wouldn't want him taking out of his precious time simply to teach her how to skate. Bonnie switches the discussion, requesting Patrick join her at Marco's because she's not a good personal wardrobe shopper for him. Patrick suggests when Phoebe is done at school they could all meet and go skating from there. Phoebe pleads with Bonnie to accept her dad's request. Bonnie consents and Phoebe hugs both of them in excitement. The next day at the office, Corinne packs up the gifts for their client and a call comes in from Bonnie's dad. Corinne urges her to take the call instead of ignoring it like the last 4 times he called. Upon answering the call, she responds awkwardly as her dad asks how she is faring and the bustling activities with work in the festive period. Her dad wonders if she will be attending his wedding with Kate. She feels her presence isn't necessary, but her father can recognize the look she has on. He tries convincing her that his soon-to-be wife will not take up her mother's space. Bonnie refuses to listen as she pretends to receive a call from a client and needs to get off the phone. Corinne gives her a sad look as she tries to understand how Bonnie must be feeling. Later on, Bonnie, Phoebe, and Patrick are out shopping. Phoebe shows them the perfect Christmas sweater she found. They try on their sizes and she requests they take a photo, making silly faces with their sweaters on. Patrick asks Bonnie to put up the photo on her social media page, but she objects, reminding him that her page is too influential for him. She jumps in excitement on hearing him agree to wear the sports jacket if she uploads the photo. So, she rushes to get him another jacket she feels will suit him. Patrick tries it on as they laugh about the undersized pants she got him. Soon after, they head out to skate. Patrick gets reminded of Phoebe's singing lesson. Phoebe suggests they continue on, because she has to go for her lesson since she can't skip it and she has already asked her cousin to come pick her up. Patrick and Bonnie laugh as they suspect the 9-year-old is trying to set them up. At the skating rink owned by Patrick's friend, Bonnie confesses she feels like a child as he ties her skates. Patrick giggles, revealing that as a newbie, she needs someone who knows how to tie skates for her, otherwise she could sprain her ankle when falling. He finishes up and carefully supports her as they begin their skating lessons. They take a break and Patrick offers her some hot chocolate drink. As they sip their drink, he is curious to know how the great Bonnie Parker became a personal shopper. Bonnie reveals it all began with watching her mom, who was an interior designer. She would put things perfectly together for her clients, so she just created a job that felt like her mom's. Patrick compliments how wonderful she has been doing with his clients because they all love her gifts and personal touch so much that one landed him a deal. Patrick seems to feel a lot more comfortable with Bonnie. He confesses his daughter connects so much with her in a way he has never seen her connect with anyone before. Bonnie reveals she told Phoebe about her mother, so it feels that way because they share the same pain regarding losing their mothers. Patrick informs Bonnie that his wife succumbed due to cancer and if not for the support he got from his clients he wouldn't have company at the moment. This is the major reason he decides to give gifts to his loyal clients. After Phoebe's singing lesson, Miss Appleby walks her downstairs and mentions treating Phoebe and her dad to her favorite Christmas holiday bar at the Christmas market. Phoebe reveals Bernard will be picking her up because her dad is on a skate date. She suggests Miss Appleby attend the Christmas party her dad will be hosting. At the skating rink, Bonnie appreciates Patrick for taking his time to teach her, and Patrick in turn appreciates her for assisting them in picking a live tree. He invites her to come over to his place later so she can join his daughter and himself in decorating it. Later at Patrick's house, Phoebe thanks Bonnie for coming to join them in decorating. She suggests she take some cookies home and then bids them goodnight. Patrick commends her for making his day beautiful and also invites her to the holiday party coming up on Saturday. Bonnie excitedly accepts to come as it will be an opportunity to see him in his sports jacket. The both of them stare at each other smiling for some seconds and Bonnie breaks the silence saying she needs to leave already. Patrick sees a sparkle on her face and tries to get it off. He bends his head slowly as though he wants to kiss her. She quickly dusts some cookies off his beard and reminds him that she has to leave already. The next morning, Bonnie brings some clothes, requesting Samantha's opinion on which to wear. Samantha thinks she likes Patrick, and Bonnie admits she does, but she is not sure if he likes her or he is just being nice. She also reveals her drama with the cookie crumbs the previous night. Samantha believes she is acting like their father who is in love. She uses the opportunity to advise her to stop holding a grudge against their father for finding love. Samantha is happy that her sister is finally opening up to somebody since their mom's passing. Bonnie pleads with Samantha to come with her to the party because she feels nervous, and she might trip off and break her ankle. Bernard and Patrick sit outside a cafe sharing coffee while Bernard confirms the names of attendees with Patrick. Bernard informs Patrick he extended an invite to Miss Appleby who emailed him. Patrick tells him to add her name and Bonnie is to the list of guests. Bernard confesses there has been a change in Patrick's countenance since Bonnie came along, but Patrick won't admit it. It's Saturday and the party has started. Patrick approaches Bonnie welcoming her, and Samantha to his party. Soon, Miss Appleby arrives, hugging Patrick and complimenting how he smells. He introduces her to Bonnie and excuses himself to go greet a client who just walked in. Miss Appleby starts a conversation with Bonnie, wondering how long she has known Patrick. She soon starts talking about a slow progression in her relationship with Patrick, insinuating there is something romantic brewing between them. She informs Bonnie of her supposed date with Patrick to the Christmas market. Bonnie finds it uncomfortable, but she plays along, asking to know about the tickets to the music show. Miss Appleby lies about giving the ticket out to someone whom she met at the shelter where she volunteers. Bonnie is surprised and doesn't like the sound of that, but she acts cool anyway. When Samantha comes to check on her sister, she can't help but stare at Miss Appleby and Patrick, wondering what's going on. Soon, Bonnie suggests they leave and Samantha suspects something is off with her. Patrick approaches them and Bonnie hands him a present she got for Phoebe on his behalf. The music starts playing and he asks her for a dance. She accepts his hand and joins him, giggling as they dance, smiling and looking into each other's faces. Samantha watches them from a little distance in admiration as she imagines how they will make an amazing couple together. Miss Appleby, also watching them from the crowd, looks at them with jealousy written all over her. Bernard interrupts the dance session to announce a surprise fun entertainment they have in store for them. To Patrick's surprise, Bernard urges the people to clap until he comes up on stage. He invites Bonnie to join him in singing. After their rendition, which Bonnie laughed through most of it, Miss Appleby runs to the stage to announce Patrick knows the perfect harmony for the Silent Night Carol, and they will be singing it together. She nudges Bonnie with her head to get off the stage. Patrick is confused as he doesn't understand what is going on. However, he joins her in singing instead. Bonnie feels uncomfortable watching them, so she steps out. Later, Samantha notices her sister's absence and she searches for her. Patrick sees her outside, and he suspects something is wrong, but she refuses to admit it. She confesses they've been getting along better than they used to, and he attributes it to her pushing him out of his comfort zone. She advises him to spend more time with his daughter instead of allowing her to spend much time on social media, and then she walks towards the vehicle. As she is about to hop in, she compliments how great he looks up there with Miss Appleby. The driver drives off without giving him a chance to speak. He just stood there speechless, not understanding the drama. As he turns to walk in, he spots her necklace, which falls into a pile of snow. He picks it up and heads inside. In Bonnie's room, she carries her computer, looks through Miss Appleby's account, and sees that she has already uploaded a photo of herself and Patrick singing. So she goes back to her account to archive the photo she took with Phoebe and Patrick, wearing matching Christmas sweaters. Her eyes get filled with tears and she soon realizes she has misplaced her necklace. The next morning at the office, a delivery man brings a box Bonnie ordered online the previous night, and Corinne receives the package. Corinne notices how gloomy she looks. Soon after she steps out, she sees a man dressed in Santa's costume. He acknowledges the box of gifts she is carrying, also informing her to note that for Christmas, presents matters more than presents. She looks at him strangely as he winks at her before hurriedly walking away from him. At the house, Santa's words re-echo in her ears and she deletes the dating app on her phone. After which, she starts packing up the extra stuff she buys but doesn't use a big bag. She takes them to a Christmas donation spot along the street to have them donated. She spends the remaining time having fun and running around the house with her sister. She also places the long overdue call to her father. Finally, she reconciles with her dad in the spirit of Christmas. Over at Patrick's house, Patrick asks Phoebe if she would like to open a Christmas Eve gift like they used to do, and she gladly admits she would love to, thanking him for doing all of the Christmas preparation with her. He opens a gift box and assists her in wearing the necklace. Phoebe loves it. She informs him it is almost like Bonnie's golden angel. At the mention of that, Patrick picks up the necklace he found earlier to compare. Phoebe reveals it belongs to Bonnie and suggests he returns it. The little girl shows her father a video Miss Appleby uploaded. She mentions she's aware Patrick likes Miss Appleby. However, she thinks Bonnie makes them better and she will be a better fit than Miss Appleby. He smiles in agreement with Phoebe, who seems to know more than she seems. Patrick makes his little daughter promise not to go online without his permission, and then he whispers into her ear something that makes her light up in excitement. Over at Bonnie's residence, Samantha receives a call and she reveals to Bonnie the call is from a client, and she has to run a quick errand for her firm. A few minutes later, Patrick walks into the room where Bonnie is sitting, reading through a book. She stands up in surprise as she isn't expecting to see him on Christmas Eve. Patrick reveals Phoebe went to get some Christmas Eve dessert with Samantha. He stretches his palm towards her, inviting her to follow him to a surprise location. Upon arriving at Ruddy's, he blindfolds her and guides her out of the car. Patrick confesses how soon his life changed when she waltzed into it and drove him out of his past, as well as opening his eyes to see the things his daughter needed that he couldn't see. He hands her the golden angel she dropped in the pile of snow outside his house, apologizing for the misinterpretation she had about him and the music teacher. Bonnie smiles as Patrick confesses what's in his heart. She also reveals how she feels about him. Patrick takes it a step further by professing his love to her. He hands her a sweater to put on, then heads in with him as they start a new holiday tradition with a bowl of chowder, before joining Phoebe, and Samantha for dinner. Bonnie suggests they start one more new tradition as she draws closer, and they share a kiss to kick off their new relationship.